And welcome to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. Tonight, Video Productions presents middle school football. It's a game between the Independence Patriots. They are 6-0. They take on the Beckley-Stratton Bulldogs. They are 0-5. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry with my partner, Eric Thomas. We have the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing. The brains of the outfit, Faith Alexander on camera. And, Eric, as you look at these two teams on paper, teams are headed in opposite directions. First of all, for the visiting team, the Independence Patriots, they're 6-0. And, man, they have really been hard to deal with. They beat Park in a game that you and I did earlier in the year, 76-12. They beat Shady 52-6. They beat Oak Hill 46-6. Trap Hill 60-6. Eastern Greenbrier 36-12, and Midland Trail 46-6. So they have won by huge margins through their first 6 games.
Yeah, and the thing they really impressed me, they do it through the air mostly. I mean, they're passing offense, precision passing. They do a good job at the middle school level.
And speaking of their passing offense, Paxton Myers is their quarterback. He's thrown for 1,222 yards and already thrown 24 touchdowns. He's had a game where he threw for 5 touchdowns in one game, and he's also had a game where he threw over 300 yards in a game. Those are like blowing all kinds of middle school records out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't put those type of numbers up, you know, in an 8-game season. So he's looking at possibly close to 2,000 yards passing.
Yes.
I mean, and you can say in, 2 quarters a game, basically.
Right, and what their coaching staff told me before you got here, in all fairness, and we saw Paxton Myers, and he does have a good arm, but he's like, he can throw maybe like a 10-yard out, and the guy break a tackle and run 70, 80 yards for a touchdown. He said a lot of those yards have been because the receivers, like I said, just caught 5, 10, 12-yard passes and ran 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, but that all counts.
That's
right.
right.
If you just tap it, we were talking about this when we were watching football together Sunday, that tap pass. I mean, it's behind the line of scrimmage, but it's good for 2 things. Incomplete pass if it's dropped, but if they run it for 80 yards, it's a pass.
That's right. And, you know, on the other side, Beckley-Stratton, it's not been the year they've won. They haven't won a game yet. They've lost to basically all the same opponents that Independence has beaten. They lost to Oak Hill, Trap Hill, Shady, Park, Eastern Greenbrier last week. And, of course, you know, you and I had that Park game a couple weeks ago, and they lost right there 20-14. And, you know, like I said, it's just not been the kind of season that Beckley-Stratton had hoped for.
Yeah, not really a good season. But, you know, some of the players that I've had a chance to check out, they have a few good players that will move up to the high school level and make a difference. So they should just keep their head up and look at the positives that you get to play football. And I think the guys will, you know, they'll play good tonight and have a chance to try to compete with Independence.
It's going to be a beautiful night for football, a little on the cool side. I mean, a little better for us that we're up here, you know, in the press box, but for the people actually sitting out in it, you know, here in about another 30 minutes or so, or maybe right now, it's still going to be a little chilly. Even though the sun was out today, it was still a little chilly in the Beckley area.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the fall, too. You know, once the sun is out, it feels decent. But as soon as that sun goes down, you know, you'll feel how cool it really is, because that sun really heats up the atmosphere, even if it was chilly and windy, but now it's going to be super cold this evening.
All right, we'll take our first break as we get you ready for the kickoff at the top of the hour between 0-5 Beckley-Stratton playing host to 6-0 Independence. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
We won't raise your rates just because of an accident. Sure, everyone thinks they're a good driver. But when an accident happens, with Allstate, you don't have to worry, even if it's your fault. It's called accident forgiveness, and it starts the day you sign up. You're in good hands with Allstate.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment Champion Mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Let the sunshine in. Get started today with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. What better way to do that than our energy-efficient windows and doors for every budget and style? We offer superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price. We offer great financing options too. So why wait? Transfer your home today with Window World of Beckley and let the sun shine in.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley, getting you ready for the middle school game that will kick at the top of the hour between 6-0 Independence and 0-5 Beckley-Stratton. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Michael Frobel, candidate for the circuit judge in the second division in a runoff, and that will take place, of course, on Election Day on November the 5th. Michael is proud to support the student athletes of Raleigh County. Also, the game tonight being brought to you in part by Exit Elevation Realty. Luke Richmond, the broker. You can call him up at 304-256-0101, or you can check him out online at wvexitelevation.com. Well, Eric, first of all, let's talk about if you're Independence. You look at this game on paper. You've beaten everybody else decisively, as in our last segment went over the scores. If you're the coaching staff, Coach Byers at Independence, what do you think you have to tell your kids from maybe getting complacent here tonight?
Well, I just think he takes it probably one game at a time, and it's real hard to keep these kids from not getting, what we call the big head and all that. But I think they're really well coached, and they go about their business handling each possession.
Now, on the flip side, Coach Law for Beckley-Stratton, like we talked about in our last segment, not having the kind of year that they want or anybody wants. They haven't won a game yet. They're 0-5. It's a big challenge tonight against this high, potent Independence offense. What do you think that Beckley-Stratton, like right before the game, what do you think they're going over?
Well, if you look, and sometimes you just got to get the body language out of your kids and make them think they compete. I'm telling you, on the Beckley-Stratton side, they have the quarterback is a good quarterback. They have a couple good wideouts, good running backs, and they just have to cut out the mistakes. They had a lot of mistakes, that self-inflicted wounds in the park game that we did.
And I think the big key for Beckley-Stratton, ball control and not try to get behind early. And I know it's easier said than done. Don't give up the big play, but Independence has pretty much had the big play on everybody.
Yeah, and that's true. But if you do it, they're going to throw the ball a lot. If you can position your defensive backs and your corners and your safeties and try to maybe turn them over, try to get a couple of pickoffs and, pick off a couple passes, get some momentum that way. But I think you're right. The key is offensively keeping the ball. The best way to slow an offense down sometimes is keeping the ball away from it.
Independence won the county championship last year, and they've already locked in the top seed. Of course, we'll have that game 2 weeks from tonight on Halloween. It's already set. It'll be Shady against Independence, and of course, Independence beat Shady already. In the earlier match, 52-6. So the main thing is, I think, if you're Independence, I think the fact that you were undefeated last year and looking for a second straight undefeated season, I think that will be the focus that will drive the Independence middle team tonight.
Yeah, and they want to keep that trophy over in the Coal City way, and really building right now a middle school dynasty, the way that they're putting victories together and beating people handily. I mean, a couple of those teams, Eastern Greenbrier did good. Is a moral victory for them to keep them under 40.
Yeah, you're right. And, that was probably, in fact, as I look down, or not probably, that was their closest game, and it was 36-12.
Yeah, exactly right. And Eastern Greenbrier probably walked away going, hey, they didn't double us up as much as they did, most of the teams they played. So.
Well, both teams continue to go through the warm-up here at Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. We'll take our second Beckley Auto Mall Dutch Miller pregame break. Get you ready for the opening kickoff coming up at the top of the hour here on Video Productions.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert Z. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're about to go on the most important journey, it matters who you choose to start it with. From your very first prenatal appointment, Access Health's dedicated team is here to support you with the latest technology and personalized care. Preparing for your little one's arrival is a special time. And when the big day arrives, you can be confident knowing you have the same team to guide and support you. Access Health, your partner in health every step of the way.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium, getting you ready for the kickoff at 7 o'clock here at the top of the hour between undefeated Independence. They are 6-0 against 0-5 Beckley-Stratton. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Leisure Lanes, Johnstown Road in Beckley, and you can check out their Halloween party, which will be Saturday, October the 26th, from 10 o'clock to midnight, $17 a person, and you can have a howling good time, Eric, if you go to Leisure Lanes, and reservations are recommended, and you can dial them up at 304-253-7328. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your Shady Springs State Farm agent, Scotty Brown, dial him up at 681-238-6130. And as I mentioned, Eric, you can have a howling good time. We think we might have a howling good time here tonight. Hopefully, Beckley-Stratton can make this a ball game. I think the big key for Beckley-Stratton not to let this game get away from them early.
Yeah, and I think it starts at the beginning. If you win the toss, receive the ball, elect to receive, and try to get something going offensively.
You know, we spoke about the efficiency of Paxton Myers, the quarterback of Independence, and you alluded to the quarterback and the running backs that Beckley-Stratton have. The quarterback for Beckley-Stratton is Bentley Ellison, and then, you know, they've had an outstanding pair of running backs, Christian Wisen and also Cameron Davis.
Yeah, I mean, they have multiple weapons. The way that in the Park game, we saw that those guys, you know, if they get in the open field, they can make things happen, and that's what I think they'll have to do. Try to create plays where they can get some one-on-ones and some matchups that may be winnable.
Of course, in our last commercial break, we were just discussing some of the things we got coming up on Video Productions. And, of course, Eric, tomorrow night we will be at Coal City, and we'll have Independence and Mingo Central in our normal high school game of the week. And it's hard to believe, look how fast this season is gone as we're into the week eight of the high school season.
Yeah, week 8, and everybody's playing now for playoff positioning, and the Independence is really moving up the charts. They jumped from the 8th position to the 5th position with the big win on the road at Westside, and this is another winnable game, I think, for Independence to keep climbing up the charts.
Yeah, there's some big games starting with tomorrow for Independence, and then, of course, they got Princeton coming up that we'll have on Video Productions. And right now, as you mentioned, Independence sitting at 5. If you can get in that top 4, that guarantees you 2 home games as long as you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're really trying to, achieve and strive to get. And it's right there for the taking. A couple big games later on in the season, of course, one on the horizon, too, with Princeton on the schedule. So tomorrow you need to take care of business.
And speaking of Princeton, they'll be hosting Beckley tomorrow, which is a huge game. In fact, of Beckley's remaining 4 games, 2 on the road and 2 at home, both home games Video Production will have. Bill O'Brien will have the game when Beckley plays Spring Valley, and you and I will have the season finale when Beckley plays George Washington. In fact, when you look at Beckley's schedule, they've got Princeton, who is a AAA, Oak Hill's a AAA, Spring Valley's a AAA. The only Quad A team they have left is George Washington, and that game that you and I do at the end of the season, and we were speaking, Butch Mounts and I today with Beckley Woodrow Wilson Athletic Director Andrew Pinnick, that game could be for maybe 1 home game or 2 home games. That's starting to loom as a very huge game at the end of the year.
Yeah, very much so. And both teams, they will need that game probably to secure at least 1, home game in the playoffs. But I think, it's a little skewed, and we've talked about this, the way it looks like they're playing like a couple of AAAs, but the Spring Valley Princeton teams can play with anybody, so they got to handle business, on that level, because in my opinion, those are 4A schools.
Right, and also, but the points are from 3A, but you're right, and also at the time when the schedules were made, Beckley thought Preston, and at the time they were going to be 4A, and then even though they have an enrollment of 2,000,
yeah, they have more kids
clearly
in Beckley.
a lot, not just more, a lot more, they could easily be 4A, but where they're located. So anyway, I understand that here in the next week or so, there's going to be discussion to see what's going to happen as far as classifications are concerned. But right now, I think teams just concerned of what they're able to do on the field.
Yeah, and that's the key. Just take care of business. And Beckley, when they travel down the interstate to Princeton, they're not going to get off the bus saying, "Hey, this is a AAA school." They're going to think about that butt kicking they took over here last year, and they're going to try to avenge that one.
And actually, and you had even mentioned it even 2 years ago, the last time they played at Princeton, Princeton won big. Princeton's won the last 2 years decisively, and I think this year could be a lot different. I think this is Beckley's best chance over the last 3 years in order to beat Princeton.
Yeah, and I think they'll compete. Both teams will be ready, and that'll be an interesting contest to check the score on.
Yeah, of course, that's tomorrow. Of course, we'll have the Mingo Central Independence game tomorrow. But right now, coming up here at the top of the hour, it'll be undefeated Independence Middle School. They are 6-0, taking on Beckley-Stratton 0-5. We're going to take one more break here in the Beckley Auto Mall Dutch Miller pregame show and come back and get you ready for the opening kickoff coming up next on Video Productions.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Don't drop the ball. Come see your hometown legends at the all-new Greenbrier Ford in Beckley. We won't be beat.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
It's fourth down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole in the middle. Clear. Nothing.
Brian moves!
A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
And welcome back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas. We have the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing. Maddie Belcher is directing. And we have the heavy hitter's better half, which is the brains of the outfit, Faith Alexander, on camera. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal offers no premium and no deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. You can apply for a job at the Infinity Coal Company by going online to the Facebook page at United Coal Company. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Edward Jones. Edward Jones, plan for your retirement by opening a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. You can call Heather Cantley. She takes care of me. She'll take care of you. You can reach Heather at 681-254-0097. And finally, last but certainly not least, the good folks at Cracker Barrel. Love me some Cracker Barrel, and I usually have my pregame meal there, and love me some pig at Cracker Barrel, but also love me some mashed potatoes, green beans, meatloaf, everything they got at Cracker Barrel. I love it, and you'll love it too. Well, Eric, final words before we're about to get the game underway in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's simple. I think Beckley-Stratton really needs to try to control the tempo of the game, and what I mean by that, shorten the game a little bit, try to get some first downs, and really keep the offense, the high-powered offense of Independence Middle Patriots off the field.
And, you know, Eric, it seems like since both teams have made their way on the field, I don't think they're going to leave the field and come back. They're just going to stay out there. They've got 2.5 minutes on the clock, so we should be ready to go here in about 2.5 minutes. And actually, it's a beautiful night for playing football. I don't know about sitting in the stands, but as far as the players, I think the players was okay. This is a good night to play.
Yeah, I think they'd much rather have this than that mid-September and late August heat. You know, you really get exhausted if you get amped up, and I think this is perfect playing weather.
Well, I know that the game that you weren't able to make when Bill O'Brien worked with me and Beckley-Stratton played Shady, and I know Maddie was here for that, how hard it rained that night, and they played in that rainstorm, and I think Nick was also here that night producing and directing. So I think, no doubt, the players would rather play on a night like tonight than they did that night, because that was during when that hurricane was going on, and I mean, it felt like a hurricane here at the stadium, how hard it rained that night.
Yeah, I happened to work in it that day, and it was rain like I'd never really seen that day. Felt like it was blowing sideways. Really couldn't see, that would have been tough to play in.
So Independence has made their way across the way to the far sideline. Of course, they'll be in all white tonight. That's a neat-looking uniform with the red helmet and white. Of course, Beckley-Stratton with the white helmet, all in blue tonight. So one thing about it, there won't be any trouble to be able to detect between the two teams. And, of course, Eric, you know, you love all the officials. Officials love you. You're waving at them. They're waving at you. Hopefully they still love you when the game's over.
You know what I told them? Keep that yellow thing in your pocket.
Yeah. Keep the laundry in the pocket. So we're just a few minutes away from as Beckley-Stratton makes their way to their here on the near side, where their bench will be, and we'll have the captains have the toss of the coin, and we'll be ready to go here. We're a minute away from kicking the ball game off, and like I said, it'll be interesting early to see if Beckley-Stratton, what kind of fight they can put up to kind of hang in the game. Beckley-Stratton enters the game 0-5, Independence 6-0.
Yeah, you know, the one thing is when you're coaching a team that hasn't won, you have to keep positive and hopefully make them have a short-term memory, because everything is right in front of them. You get a win tonight, the biggest upset probably ever in middle school if you could pull this one off, and that would be the best thing could ever happen for this Beckley-Stratton team, you know.
And one thing for Beckley-Stratton, you've got to really hand it to their coaches and their players, the fact that they've not won a game and not had the season they had hoped for. The kids continue to come out, work hard in practice, and still prepare for the next game.
And that's right, and that's one thing you have to commend the kids too, because it's kind of hard to keep coming out and you keep getting beat down, you know. But I think we see about the same number of kids that they've had, so they're holding on to the kids, and let's see if they can get something going tonight.
All right, the captains are set to meet out at the 50-yard line in the center of the field and ready to have the toss of the coin. And, you know, Eric, I think I agree with you. I think if Beckley-Stratton wins the toss, a lot of times defer, but I think in this case I would take the ball.
Yeah, I'm taking the ball because you don't know how many possessions you're going to get in the contest, so.
And the one thing about it, in middle school as opposed to high school, you have 8-minute quarters as opposed to 12. So, you know, you want to be able to kind of shorten the game if you can, if you're Beckley-Stratton. And there's the officials talking to the captains, and we're getting ready to have the toss of the coin, and we'll be underway momentarily on a beautiful night, probably in the mid-40s right now as we're ready to kick off. But, you know, it had clear skies today. The sun was out. It was a little chilly, but all in all, for the middle of October, not really bad.
Yeah, you're right on it. It's 46 degrees right now at the kick.
And I didn't even check my phone. I was just going by. I stuck my arm out the window to be able to tell what the temperature was.
Things are looking up, though. It's looking like 65 for the high tomorrow.
And there's the toss of the coin, and let's see who has won the toss. Waiting for the officials to give the indication. And Beckley-Stratton has won the toss, and let's see if they will elect to receive.
I think they're going to receive.
They have the choice to receive, kick, or defer.
Looks like Independence is going to kick it.
And there's Beckley-Stratton. They won the toss. They'll be going right to left. And it looks like Beckley-Stratton has elected to kick, and they have, Eric. So just what we thought. If Beckley-Stratton won the toss, they would do what you and I both thought they would do, and that's take the ball.
Well, see, that's one positive thing that's happened for Beckley-Stratton. If they were intending to, you know, to receive the ball and get a chance to get their offensive unit out on the field.
So Independence is lined up as they get set to tee it up. And they'll tee it up right there between the 40s there. And Beckley-Stratton getting their final instructions. Tristan Likens will be kicking off for the Independence Patriot Middle School team. And Beckley-Stratton still hasn't broke their huddle below us, getting their final instructions. Don't really have much wind either. Just a nice, cool, clear night.
I was going. You're in my thoughts because I was looking at the flag at the opposite end of the field and nothing. It's just not moving at all.
So going back for Beckley-Stratton on the far side there will be Cameron Davis. He's been probably their best. Him and Kristen Wyson have been basically their best offensive players. They're 1-2, and they're standing there about the 25-yard line, and we're underway. The kick will come to Wyson just across the 25. He's got a nice return, crosses the 30, got room to the near side. He's crossed midfield, and a nice return as he's ran out of bounds in Independence territory. But Beckley-Stratton gets a good kickoff return and excellent field position, Eric, to start their opening drive.
And that's one thing we saw in the Park game. With this high-powered offense, the only thing that you would say would be the Independence weakness is their kick coverage. And as many times as they kicked off during the year, you'd think they would be better because I thought this might go for a touchdown as the safety valve stayed back. I think that was Tristan Likens maybe.
Yeah,
it was.
Kicker. Yep.
So
from the 47 of Independence, it'll be first down, and you can see Independence, they got 8-9 guys all up in the box there. Long count. It's going to be a running play. That's Davis. Tries to bounce it outside, and he's going to lose yardage. There was nowhere to go. As you can see, Independence was crowding the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, had more people in the box that you can block, and it was a tackle by committee. And one player that doesn't get a lot of talk because we talked offensively, but Independence has a defensive end, Jacob Fleming, 88. Just watch him. He wrecks a lot of plays.
That play's going to lose 3 yards back to midfield and make it second down and 13 for the Beckley-Stratton Bulldogs, and that's one thing. You can't have negative plays, but Beckley-Stratton's going to have to maybe find some kind of passing play or something to keep Independence honest. You can see how they're stacked up, and there's a flag, and you had talked about referees keeping the laundry in their pocket, and as soon as you said that, the second play of the game, we have a penalty.
Yeah, that was looked like the left guard may have jumped. They always catch the offensive player. It was bang in the neutral zone for Independence, but both guys jumped simultaneously.
So now, with the penalty, that takes the ball back into their own territory at the 45.
And just what you don't want.
No.
Predictable passing play here, and Independence will pin their ears back. And it's only 8 on the play clock. They got out of the huddle a little late.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 18. Once again, like 9-10 guys at the line of scrimmage. Beckley-Stratton's going to run the ball, and there's not much there. They get Davis. He gets a yard or two, but just like nowhere to run. Independence is stacking the line of scrimmage. Beg your pardon, I said Davis, but that was actually Wyson with the carry. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long. And he got about a yard or two. They give him 2 on the play. And the ball goes to the 47-yard line. So to keep the drive alive, they've got to get the ball down inside the 40. They got to get the ball all the way down to the 36 of Independence. So we'll see what play Beckley-Stratton will dial up. Bentley Ellison is the quarterback. As Beckley-Stratton comes out of the huddle on 3rd and long, they'll work from the gun. Ellison takes the snap. He's going to throw it. Pressure comes. He's in trouble. Tries to elude would-be tacklers, and he can't, and that's a sack. And, after the good kickoff return, Eric, then you had a negative play on 1st down. You had a penalty, and that really kind of killed this drive.
Yeah, you can't get behind the chains. And just look at here on the replay, just nowhere to go. As the ball was snapped, the Independence defenders were in the backfield before Mr. Bentley Ellison was even had a chance to catch the ball.
So it'll be 4th down, punting situation for Beckley-Stratton, and see if they can flip the field. Independence looks like they're coming after it. It's a high snap. There's the kick, pretty decent kick here to the near side. It's caught at the 30. That's Myers. I think it is. No, beg your pardon. It's not Myers. That is Frazier, and he's ran out of bounds. But a good return for Independence, and they got excellent field position on their first possession.
Looks like they'll tee it up at the 44-yard line, and this is what, if you're Beckley-Stratton right here, you can't give up a big chunk play here on 1st down.
So they will put him down, as Eric said, at the 44-yard line. And it'll be Paxton Myers that will lead Independence out. He's passed for over 1,200 yards. He's had a 300-yard game, and he's also had a game in which he's thrown 5 touchdown passes in one game. And you can see, Eric, how Independence, they spread you out.
Yeah, but the key thing is this creates running lanes right here.
As soon as you say that's what they do, Likens, he's got a good gain. He's crossed midfield. He's not done yet. He's got a 1st down the far sideline and a huge gain, and he's not done yet. He breaks a tackle. He's still standing. The 10 to the 5, touchdown. No penalty flags, and boy, did it ever create a lane. And looked like Beckley-Stratton could have had him 2 or 3 times, but Likens able just to keep going, scamper down the far side as we watch the replay for an Independence touchdown.
Yeah, but the play was doomed from the start. No one kept contained, and once he got outside, Tristan Likens knows what to do with it. He's been in the end zone several times this season. That would be his 10th total touchdown. He has 2 receiving touchdowns.
So that's a 56-yard touchdown run on the first play of scrimmage for Independence. Beckley-Stratton just got a guy off the bench in as they go for 2, and there's the 2-point conversion is good. So with 4:53, man, it didn't take long. Independence, just like that, takes an 8-0 lead, as that was a one-play, 56-yard drive and a 56-yard run by Likens. The 2-point conversion good. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. Love to have me a nice cold Pepsi right about now. And, Eric, just what we talked about on top, what Beckley-Stratton couldn't have happened, they did have happen. They go 3 and out, and Independence needs one play, and they take an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, and look, if we do play totals, we'll do the total plays. 3 for Beckley-Stratton offensively and 1 for Independence, and you're down 8-0.
Yeah, 3 plays in a punt, and, of course, they lost yardage on their first play. Then they had that penalty, and that penalty, it's one thing if you lose yards on 1st down, but it's another thing then you have what compounds it is you have the penalty.
Yeah, but this is one where you can make some inroads here if you're Beckley-Stratton. Try to block it up because you have some players that can it's been a proven fact that Independence likes to give up some returnable yards on these kickoffs.
And Beckley-Stratton, when Independence kicked off to start the game, they had a nice return, and Wyson and the young man Davis are back, and they're both very good players, very good returners. Wyson gets it on the near side. He'll cross the 40. Got a nice return. Crosses midfield. Breaks a tackle. He's not done yet. He gets to the 40 before they sling it back, and it's a fumble. Back the other way is Independence. This may be an Independence touchdown, a 60-yard fumble return, and going down the sideline is Independence for the touchdown.
I think that's going to be Tristan Likens, yes.
Wow. What a return that went the other way, and hadn't seen that, as Wyson looked like he had a nice return, and they just strip him of the ball.
It was stripped, yeah. Just carrying it loose. What looked like could be a touchdown one way comes back the other way.
Nice move right here, and right here at the 40-yard line, the ball's just taken away from him. So that's a 60-yard fumble return by Likens, and before you can blink an eye, Independence is up 14-0. Wow. $60-yard fumble return. So Likens has a 56-yard touchdown run, and now a 60-yard fumble return as they line up to go for two. And just like that, that's a big left hook and a right cross.
Yeah, just fireworks right there, though. It looked like it was going to be the best field position possible for Beckley-Stratton, and now it's 16-0.
And the two-point conversion, as you mentioned, Eric, is good, and just like that, Independence is out in front 16-0, and they've ran one offensive play. So it's a 60-yard fumble return by Likens, his second touchdown, and with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, your new score is Independence 16, Beckley-Stratton nothing. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. And Eric, if we have to drink Pepsi maybe every time Independence scores, we need maybe a couple cases up here. We're going to have to drink Pepsi because, I mean, that was just like lightning in a bottle right there.
Yeah, just in the end, it's the worst-case scenario for Beckley-Stratton. 2 positive kickoff returns and nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that's, this is the third time that I've had an opportunity to broadcast Beckley-Stratton. In the previous 2 games, that was one of the best plays, the best return they had, and then it goes against them. And not only did they lose the ball, but they give up a touchdown on it.
Yeah, I mean, 6 the other way.
So, wow. So just like that, it's 16-0, and Independence has run one offensive play. Now, I guess that's really what you call efficient.
Very efficient.
So now here comes the kickoff for the third time for Independence. They kicked off to start the game, and they've kicked off now after their 2 touchdown returns. It'll be Davis's chance this time. Crosses the 30. He's across the 40. He's got a lane. Crosses midfield. Davis not done yet. Inside the 40, and he's dragged down inside the 35 all the way down to the Independence 34. Maybe they'll put him down at the 35. But once again, a huge kickoff return for Beckley-Stratton.
Yeah, that's their best offense right here. And once again, Tristan Likens, he's been Mr. Everything tonight because he saved 2 touchdown returns on kicks after kicking off, just being the safety valve back there, making a play.
So they will put the ball down at the Independence 34, and now let's see what Beckley-Stratton can do with this great field position. 1st and 10 at the Independence 34-yard line. Ellison, the quarterback, hands the ball up inside for a yard or 2. That's tough sledding because Independence, like I said, if you're going to beat them, you might have to run wide or throw the ball because they got 8-9 guys stacked in the box.
Yeah, Madden Taylor does a good job, though, on his own right there, picking up with a tough 2 yards.
So they'll take the ball down to the 32. As you mentioned, Eric, you're right. That was a hard, tough 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up for Beckley-Stratton.
Beckley-Stratton just needs to get a hat on the hat and man up a little bit. But look how tight that box is. You have 10 people.
They're all up in there. You're going to have to try to run wide, and here's the handoff Wyson, and he maybe gets a yard. There's just not any running room, and it brings up 3rd down.
I mean, get creative a little bit offensively here. If I have 8 in the box and running that stack eye, I'm going to stick it in the belly and have a little bootleg from my quarterback, try to get him one-on-one on the edge because they're not honoring anything
right
on the edge.
And you think if Beckley-Stratton's going to have any success, they've got to hit the edge or they've got to throw the ball up top. And such a scrum there's really not a lot of running lanes. So let's see what Beckley-Stratton will dial up on this 3rd down play. They've got a man open. and he missed him. And here comes the pressure, and it's going to be a huge sack. But they had a man open in the flat.
Yeah, just had to pull the trigger.
And Ellison, I guess, didn't see him, not able to get the ball. But if he would have made the throw as we watched the replay.
And that's what Coach Jerron Jones is telling him, to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it was
a big
actually
play.
open.
It was there. As we watched the replay, if you can see downfield. And let's
it's
see if
behind
we can.
that.
Yeah, we can't see
that.
down the field, but they had an open receiver. Now you have to punt as the sack takes the ball all the way back to the 45-yard line. So it's punt time for Beckley-Stratton. Here comes the kick, and it's kicked to the far side. It'll be returnable. Or will it? No, now Independence will just jump on it about the 23, maybe the 24-yard line, and now Independence will have their second possession of the ball game.
And it looked like Beckley-Stratton was just coming down to contain, because if they had been running really at the ball, they had a chance to recover that fumble.
And let's see where they're going to put the ball down at.
It's like the 23.
23-yard line is where Independence will start. They've had the ball one time. They had a 56-yard touchdown run by Likens, and then they also have had a 60-yard fumble return on a kickoff. And both two-point conversions were good. That's where we're at now, 16-0, 2:27 for the opening quarter. And Paxton Myers will work from the pistol set out of the shotgun to throw. He has time down the middle of the field. It's almost intercepted. It probably should have been. There's Davis up under it, and, boy, he should have had that one.
Yeah, and see, that's what you have to do right there, turn Independence over. That ball was a little short, and I think if Davis is able to catch this, he's going to get a huge return,
Yes.
because it's real hard for those receivers that are running routes the opposite way, and that's what you have to do, be a ball hawk if you're out here.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Independence on their own 23-yard line. Once again, they'll work from the shotgun. They spread you out with receivers each way, and they're going to throw the ball in the flat to the far side. There's some running room, and that's going to have enough for a first down as the wide receiver that time is pushed out of bounds, and I think that was Frazier. And that was who it was, as Frazier makes the catch, and a nice gain and a new package it down. It's a first down up across the 35 out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Landon Frazier's real shifty once he gets the ball in his hand, and on the year he has 108 yards receiving and one touchdown himself.
That's a 13-yard pickup, 1st and 10 for Independence on their own 36-yard line. Myers takes the shotgun snap. They'll come here to the near side. The pass is caught. Good block on the edge.
Yeah, it's a block in the back.
Yeah, and here comes the flag. And this is going to go for a touchdown, but it's going to come back. Is making the catch that time was Nelson, and he's going to, I say going for a touchdown. He's ran out at the 5, but it doesn't matter because you're right. There was a block in the back, and the laundry comes out immediately.
Yeah, this was a big-time block in the back, and one that's not needed, actually, because all he had to do was set a pick right here. He just stands. I mean, there's no need to.
Yeah, it was more of a just clear push in the back.
Yeah, you can't, but yeah.
So that will erase what would have been a big gain. And
let's give a shout out to the guy from Beckley-Stratton that actually kept him from getting in the end zone.
Yeah,
that shows me he's not giving up, at least hustling down and staying into play.
So let's see where they'll take this penalty back.
This will be a big 15-yarder here.
The line of scrimmage was the 36. They'll walk the ball back to the 26. That's a 10-yard penalty and make it 1st and 20 for Independence. So from their own 26, 1st and 20, Myers takes the shotgun snap, looks to throw deep, got a man all by himself out there, and the ball's underthrown and almost intercepted. And that's the second time, Eric, on this series that Beckley-Stratton's got a hand on it, and the ball was underthrown and could have had a pick.
And that one was underthrown, and a lot of people, I heard a little moan from the crowd. You can't call pass interference on this because the defensive back was in just prime position where the ball was thrown.
Yeah, had the ball not been underthrown, the Beckley-Stratton back probably never would have been able to get to it.
He would have never got to it.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd and 20 from their own 26.
Look how deep this safety is.
Yeah.
I always preach he's out of the view of the camera. He's so deep.
He's all the way back on the 45. Here comes a pass play to the near side. It's caught down the sideline. It's a big gain. It's a first down and more into Beckley-Stratton territory. And maybe we could have maybe a flag. I think the official's saying something to the young man in Independence the way he got up and spun the ball and pointed.
Yeah.
You're watching too much TV, I believe.
Watching a little too much TV. That's KJ Vires right there. And it was right on the player.
And, of course, that's the coach's son, and he's a fantastic player. And he's had already 10 receiving touchdowns. Actually, 10 passes, caught 16 touchdowns as they get the ball down to the Beckley-Stratton 41. And the official did say something to him.
As he should.
Yes. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Independence at the Beckley-Stratton 41. Likens with the handoff, trying to get to the edge. He's got some running room. He's going to get a first down as he gets inside the 30. He breaks a tackle and gets all the way down inside the 25.
I'm going to tell you what. Number 11 for Cameron Davis, when we saw this in the Park game, once he hits you, you're hit. Once he runs to the ball, and when he gets there, he's not just coming to arm tackle you. If you see here on the instant replay, that is a shot.
That's an 18-yard pickup for Likens all the way down to the Beckley-Stratton 23. So it's a first down. Myers to throw with time. Throws the ball down the middle. And that's almost intercepted. Did they make the catch? I think they did. There is a reception, and that's going to be a first down. It'll be 1st and goal right about the 5-yard line. I think that's Myers that held that in.
Yeah, this ball was thrown into traffic. I don't see. That is a good catch.
Yep. So Vire is able to get his arms up under it, and the ball doesn't hit the turf, and that is a connection and a first down, 1st and goal for Independence at the 5-yard line. So here's Myers, hits the snap to throw. They flush him out of the pocket. He throws into the end zone, and is it caught? It might be caught, but he's out of bounds.
You know, he dropped it actually.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I could tell he was bobbling it, and I couldn't tell if he actually caught it, but it doesn't matter because he couldn't keep his feet in, as we see there at the end of the play.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, Eric, he doesn't catch it anyway.
Just didn't complete the catch. I think he was too worried about keeping his feet in, and that's what made him bobble the football.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line for Independence. They work as they always do from the shotgun. Myers waits on the snap to throw, and now they blow the play dead, and they call a false start on Independence and take the ball back to the 10-yard line. So Independence has overcame one penalty already on this drive to put themselves in position, and now they have their 2nd penalty on this drive.
Yeah, but I think this actually, in this type of offense, Maris, I think this gives them more room to run their routes and
to work with. Myers takes the shotgun snap. He has time. He throws to the end zone. It's broken up. Once again, Davis, a ball hawk, almost could have had an interception there.
That kid, he's showing me something, and that's what, no matter how this game turns out, if you're Beckley-Stratton, who feeds into to Woodrow Wilson, you can see they have 3 or 4 players that are going to, really move on and help.
We watch the replay. You can see that was almost picked. So it'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 10. Myers from the gun as he sends 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. A single coverage to the top of the screen. Myers takes the snap. They're going to run the ball. Trying to get to the edge. I believe that is Vires. He cuts up insiders at Likens. It's an Independence touchdown. That's Likens. That's a hat trick in the 1st quarter. That's his 3rd touchdown. And touchdown Independence.
Yeah, just a little simple pull your guard. Nice block, nice kick out.
So that was a 9-play, 77-yard touchdown drive, and they get a 10-yard run from Likens. His 3rd touchdown, Eric, here in the 1st quarter. So Likens, he has got he scored twice on offense, 2 touchdown runs on offense, and a 60-yard fumble return on defense. Here's the 2-point conversion try. Myers rolls, looks, tucks it up under. Myers will get in. So it's 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. 34 seconds left in the 1st quarter. And your new score is Independence 24 and Beckley-Stratton nothing. Once again, that was a 9-play, 77-yard drive, and Likens his 3rd touchdown, the hat trick. And that's a 10-yard run, and the 2-point conversion ran in by Myers. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. And, man, I think I'm going to need me a Pepsi. That was quite an explosion we've seen here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, and the way Independence does it, they do it. They're real efficient with their offense, and they will carve you with that passing game. And the run just really complements it. Once they get you spread out and you're all concerned with the passing, they just have tremendous running lanes, just a real high-powered offense.
And that's the thing, Eric, when you have a chance, you have your hands on the ball, a pick you think you can get, you've got to make the play, because if you don't, they make you pay.
Well, if you think about it, 2 times in the first 2 possessions, they've had a chance to pick it off and not completed the play.
Well, this will be the 4th time that Independence has kicked off in the 1st quarter, and each of the previous 3 times, Beckley-Stratton's had great returns.
Yeah.
But they haven't been able to do anything with it.
But old Tristan Likens has been Mr. Everything so far, and he's really playing that. After he kicks it off, he's just staying home and not and making the tackle, preventing touchdowns.
Beckley-Stratton's going to have to break one to the house to be able to put it in the end zone, and they've had great returns. But then after the return, for various reasons, their offense has stalled, and now it's kickoff time again for Independence with 34 seconds left in the opening quarter. This will go to the far side. Davis will have to run it down. It might go out of bounds. It won't. Davis will pick it up, and here he comes to the near side, breaks some tackles up inside, crosses the 35, and still a good return, not as good as they've had, but still pretty good starting field position for this drive.
And he's still one or two blocks away from taking that one to the house.
So they'll start on their own 37-yard line, will Beckley-Stratton. And I think if you're Beckley-Stratton here, Eric, you don't forget the score. You just try to play. You just got to go do what you can do. Now there's a conference among the officials. I don't see a flag. I don't see if there was a penalty thrown. Nope, I guess they're just bringing a new football. So it'll be Beckley-Stratton's ball for the third time on their own 37-yard line. Bentley Ellison is the quarterback. He'll work from the shotgun on this series, or at least on this play to start this series. Long count. It's a low snap, and I think that threw the play off as Wyson really has no running room. Like I said, there's not much running room there anyway, the way Independence is stacking the line.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch formation on defense. They have 8, 9 people on the line of scrimmage and just not enough blockers to block that. Going to have to do something quick, side to side, some passing or something, trying to loosen it up here in the second quarter.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. At the end of one quarter, your score is Independence 24 and Beckley-Stratton nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute coming up here, getting ready for the second quarter on Video Productions.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
Ready to go to the second quarter here at Van Meter Stadium in Beckley with Independence leading this middle school game 24-0. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Michael Frobel. As Michael Frobel is a candidate for the circuit judge in the second division. Michael is proud to support student athletes of Raleigh County. Frobel for judge. All right, Eric, I said that it was the 37. Actually, it was the 33-yard line in which Beckley-Stratton started this possession. They got 1 yard on the final play of the quarter. They got the ball out to the 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and right now it looks like they're going to go back to the stack out. They just need something positive, Maris, something moving forward. They've had penalties and bad snaps, and they just have to really just man up on the line, and false start there, they missed it. No, they did.
And that's nothing that's hurt them, penalties, and it's been tough enough, as you mentioned, there's the false start and there's the penalty, will cost them 5 back to the 29. But one thing, and we talked about it in the first quarter, they're going to have to try to run the edge or a pass, and earlier on one of their drives, they had a guy open, and the quarterback Bentley just didn't see him, so they did get a guy behind the Independence defense, but they've got basically 9-10 guys stacked on the line of scrimmage, and Independence says if you're going to beat us, you're not going to run the ball between the tackles and beat them.
Yeah, Independence is definitely, this has come from watching film probably. They're like, listen, we know they're the primary run, and we're just going to bunch everyone up and bring more than they can block.
So here's 2nd and long. Here's a running play, and that will cost Beckley-Stratton a couple more yards, just nowhere to go that time for Cameron Davis. And you're right. Even if every Beckley-Stratton player blocks an Independence player, there's still somebody free for Independence to make the tackle because, as you stated, there's more players there for the Patriots on defense than what Beckley-Stratton can block. The loss goes back to the 26-yard line.
Just no chance to get these running backs, going.
Yeah, you got to maybe try to get them in space or try to get some kind of a running alley, and just nothing there with the tight formation that Beckley-Stratton runs. Third down, they've got to get the ball across the 45 to keep this first down or to keep this drive alive. There's a running play, and that's going to get a couple of yards, but it'll be fourth down. Beckley-Stratton's going to have to punt. So it'll bring up fourth down, the ball on their own 29-yard line. And it will be punting time for Beckley-Stratton. And it looks like Frazier that's going back deep, standing at midfield for Independence.
If I'm Beckley-Stratton, if they spread out a little bit, maybe try some kind of trick play.
Well, it's a long 5 seconds on the play clock. And they finally snap it, and here's the punt. And it is returnable. The ball's fumbled, and it looks like Independence is going to be back on it, as they will be on Beckley-Stratton's half of the field. Looks like they'll be about the 47-yard line.
And just like that, everything, is not bouncing Beckley-Stratton's way. They've had 2 chances to recover a fumble and just not been able to get to the ball.
So it will be the 47-yard line of Beckley-Stratton, where Independence will start this drive. They already lead in the ball game 24-0. Tristan Likens already has 3 touchdowns. He's got 2 running touchdowns, and he recovered a fumble that he returned for a touchdown. Now there's a discussion among the officials on the far side. And whatever it is, I guess they got that worked out. And let's see if it'll be they might put the ball at the 46-yard line, and actually that's where they do. They'll put the ball down at the Beckley-Stratton 46. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots there. Paxton Myers from the shotgun takes the snap. They're going to run the ball to Byers. He gets to the edge. Got running rooms. Got a first down and more. He breaks a tackle, runs over a Beckley-Stratton would-be tackler, and gets all the way down to the Beckley-Stratton 15-yard line. That was a run of speed and power.
It looks like he came up a little hobbled after this run, because good hustle by Beckley-Stratton to really wrestle him down.
Yeah, he kind of got tackled kind of awkward there when he went down. That was a 31-yard gain, by the way. And it's a first down for Independence at the Beckley-Stratton 15. So here's Myers from the shotgun. Takes the snap, throws the ball. It's caught out here in the flat, inside the 10, inside the 5 for an Independence touchdown. And that is Connor James that hauls in the pass. I do believe they called that a touchdown, right?
No, it definitely was a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, there isn't. Yep, it is a touchdown, and that makes it 30-0. I looked up for a minute.
They just hadn't picked the pylon up
yet.
yet.
Well, and I didn't see the officials. Let me see if
it
I
right
missed
here
that.
on the replay. I think he gave it right once.
Did I miss the
crossed.
official?
Yeah, he
right
did.
there. Right there. He put his hands up, yes. So that was a 2-play, 46-yard drive, and that extends the lead to 30-0. And now Independence will go for 2, and they'll run that in, and that's the 2-point conversion. So 4 touchdowns and 4 2-point conversions. Likens runs in that 2-point conversion. And with 5:43 remaining in the first half, your new score is Independence 32, Beckley-Stratton nothing. That was a 2-play, 46-yard drive and a 15-yard touchdown pass that went from Myers. And Myers was able to hit James with it, and James into the end zone. Likens runs in the extra point. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. And like I said, Eric, I think we ought to just set a case of Pepsi up here of blue cans between you, myself, Maddie Belcher here producing and directing right now. And boy, if we drank too much Pepsi, we'd have to end up going all the way down to the restroom, wouldn't we? We don't want to do that.
We definitely need a case of blue cans for sure.
All right, so it'll be Independence to kick off. And, you know, Eric, this game, the things we talked about back in the pregame, things just kind of got away from Beckley-Stratton really right off the bat.
Yeah, in the first 3 minutes, you know, they were able to return the ball on an opening kickoff, get 2 yards on the first play, then a 5-yard penalty, then a sack, then punt, and then Independence scored on the first play from scrimmage and never looked back.
Yeah, in the 3 previous possessions, this will be number 4 coming up for Beckley-Stratton. Beckley-Stratton's went 3 and out, 3 plays and 3 punts on their 3 previous possessions. So let's see what they can do. They fumble the kickoff. That's Davis. He's got some running room. He crosses the 40. He breaks a tackle. He breaks another tackle, crosses midfield. He's got some room ahead of him, and he fumbled the ball. The ball's loose. Let's see who's on it. The ball's still loose, and Independence says they have it.
Are you kidding me?
And it looks like they have it. It looks like Davis was on his way for a touchdown, didn't it, Eric? And, boy, when you're 6-0, things go for you. When you're 0-5, they don't go for you. As we watched the replay, the ball was out. Looked like he just lost it.
No, he was stripped, actually.
He was stripped, yeah.
By Tristan Likens. Strips the ball.
And
a ball hawk.
For the second time on a kickoff, Beckley-Stratton fumbles it. And Independence is able to get on it. The last time Independence stripped it, took it right away, and ran it back for a touchdown. And now Independence will recover it right there at the 47-yard line.
So Independence looking to tackle Nate Moore here with this, 5:29 to go before halftime.
So here's Myers from the shotgun. As Beckley-Stratton has turned it over for the second time. Myers takes the snap, looks to throws, got a man, and he overshot his receiver, which was Frazier. He had him open and just overthrew him.
Yeah, ran a little crosser right there, just out of the reach of Frazier. Good play concept, just not able to complete it.
So the clock will stop on the incompletion. 5 1/4 left here in the first half. And, to be one-sided, it's actually been exciting. The Beckley-Stratton's made some plays. They just haven't been able to finish them.
They just, they've, especially special teams-wise, you can see they have, a few athletes here and there, and it just seems like everything, they missed another false start right
Here's
there.
Myers to throw. They're chasing him out of the pocket. He's throwing the ball deep and overshoots his guy. That was good coverage, and what made that was the pressure to force Myers, to flush him from the pocket.
Yeah, finally got some heat on him and create a 3rd and 10.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up, as you said, Eric, from their own 47-yard line. And here's where you're Beckley-Stratton. You've got to get a stop. You can't give up a big play.
Yeah, at least give up. You want to get to the quarterback, get him off his mark. Because right now, if he has time just to stand back there and chuck it, he has a lot of options.
So on 3rd and 10, we'll see what Myers will do here.
Don't be surprised if they run it here.
And that's exactly what they do. And it looks like Beckley-Stratton, Likens, they look like they had him. Likens able to zig and zag and break a tackle, and he'll get the ball to midfield. Makes it a little bit more manageable, but you think obviously they'll go for it.
Yeah, but right there, Mayor's had him tackled for a 2-yard loss.
And able to get the ball as Likens out to midfield. So he gained 3. It'll be 4th and 7. And no question, with the kind of team that Independence has and the confidence they have in their players, no question that they will go for it here. 4th and 7 from midfield. Myers takes the snap, sets in the pocket, throwing the home run ball deep. Got a man down the seam. It's caught Frazier, and he takes a big hit, but he hauls it in, and it'll be an Independence first down at the Beckley-Stratton 20, maybe inside the 20, depending on where they put him down at, as there's a Beckley-Stratton. Looks like that was Wyson that maybe he came up.
Well, let's see on the instant replay. Was the ball coming out?
Maybe the ball came out.
The ball was moving. That was a fumble.
I haven't seen an indication yet.
The ball was moving as he got hit.
The officials are going to huddle, and let's see what we got. And you, I think, are correct. Yes, it is a turnover.
The ball was moving. He took a shot. That is the correct call.
So Independence will turn it over, and for once tonight, if you're rooting for Beckley-Stratton, they finally got a break. They finally got the ball to bounce their way.
Well, you know what they did? They created that break, though. That were, not giving up on the play. Nice hit, but now you have to do something with it.
Beckley-Stratton will take over on their own 14-yard line as they turn Independence away. And that's the thing, like we talked about, Eric, regardless of what the score is, the Beckley-Stratton kids are continuing to play hard.
Yeah, and that's all you can ask if you're a coach and looks like Independence is going to take a timeout maybe to talk to the ref.
Well, I don't think that'll do them any good because I don't know anyone yet, any coach yet, and that's what they're doing. That's one, an argument with the ref. But while we got a minute, we want to tell you that tonight's game is brought to you by Exit Elevation Realty, and Luke Richmond is your broker. You can dial him up at 256-0101, or you can check him out at wvexitelevation.com. Also, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Leisure Lanes, Johnstown Road in Beckley, and they're having a Halloween party, and you could have a howling good time and a spooky good time on Saturday night, October the 26th, 10 to midnight, just $17 a person. For more information, you can call them at 304-253-7328. So Eric out of the timeout. Beckley-Stratton will have it 1st and 10 on their own 14-yard line.
And like you said, I think the Independence coaching staff took a timeout to talk to the officials, but I don't think that did any good.
Nope.
I think it's still Beckley-Stratton football.
But you were all over it, and I really couldn't see. And
well,
you were on it even
when he
before
got
the
hit,
replay.
yeah, before the replay, you could see the ball coming out of his arm. When he got hit, it kind of spun him around. The ball was going that way.
Yeah, and it was a well-thrown ball from
Think about
Myers
the way the ball bounced. The ball
Frazier.
went that way.
Yeah, it went in toward the middle of the field,
Yes.
and Beckley-Stratton able to get the turnover. So from their own 14-yard line, let's see what Beckley-Stratton will cook up. Bentley Ellison, the quarterback, 4.5 to go till halftime. 32-0 is the lead for Independence. They run that stack eye, and maybe they got away with a little false start as they do a little quick run right up the gut that gets about 3 or 4 or 5 yards maybe.
Yeah, that end is moving a tad,
Just
bit before. A bit. Trying to get that block, get the big block down right there.
And they'll give him 4 yards out to the 18.
And I think that's probably the biggest play from scrimmage, right?
Yeah, that's been their best play. But like I said, for them to be able to really put first downs together, they're going to have to try to hit the edge or try to throw the ball, because the way Independence has stacked the line, and we've said this time and time again, but our viewers can see it. You can see 8, 9 guys up in the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 6 for Beckley-Stratton. Long count. Real long count. 3 on the play clock now. They're going to run the ball, and that's not going to go anywhere. Actually, it's going to lose probably a yard or 2 and bring up 3rd down. And I'm sure Beckley-Stratton's thinking they're running a long count. You might get them to jump.
Yeah, trying to get them to jump, trying to get 5 yards to penalty to make it a shorter down a distance here on 3rd, but Independence didn't fall for it. Now let's see what Beckley-Stratton cooks up here.
Yeah, the loss goes back to the 16, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Beckley-Stratton on their own 16. And the main thing here, if you're Beckley-Stratton, you got to take care of the ball here.
Yeah, take care of the football. But I like this. If you get a good snap here, you got a chance. Just a quick hitter out, to your wide out here.
Ellison from the gun, and then Beckley-Stratton. They're not on the same page in the false start. And, Eric, like I said, this late in the season, this is the 3rd game I've seen Beckley-Stratton, and they've had this same issue almost in every game.
It's just one of those things, lacking mental toughness.
So the loss takes the ball back to the 11-yard line, and that really makes it tough. Ball at the 11, and to keep the drive alive, they got to get the ball out to the 24-yard line. So let's see what Beckley-Stratton will cook up on this 3rd down play. Bentley Ellison, the quarterback, from the shotgun. Here's a low snap. Here's the throw in the flat. It's caught, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. And that, like I said, that wasn't a bad play, but, they got themselves behind the chains, Eric, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, but it was good to see him, get a pass off here and, end up having a punt, but that's a positive play. And one of our viewers, one of the Beckley-Stratton players, he's homesick, and he just texted in. He's watching the game. He said we're doing a good job, but he wants to let us know that his teammate's name is Christian Wilson, not Weiss.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, but there's what Beckley-Stratton had given us,
yeah.
And you can see that. It was Weissen. They did not put the L in his name. That was printed to us, so we appreciate that person. I will call him Wilson.
Thanks for the assist, Jackson
Cooper. Jackson Cooper Pennington. There's the punt from the 40 down the near sideline. This is going to be a touchdown for Independence. That's a 40-yard punt return, and that punt is going to be returned by Myers for the touchdown. So, coming into this game, Independence has scored a lot of different ways, and in every which way they have scored on fumble returns, interception returns, offense, defense, special teams, and there's another touchdown, and that takes the lead out to 38-0 as they'll go for 2. So in this game here, Eric, a fumble return, a special team on the kickoff, and now a punt return.
Punt return, yep. Special teams. The only weakness I see in this Independence team is their kickoff coverage.
So it's a 40-yard punt return, and now they'll line up and go for two. And we appreciate the young man, Jackson Pennington, ill tonight, not able to play, that he let us know, because, like I said, this was the actual official roster that was given to me by Beckley-Stratton. But nevertheless, we got it corrected, and there's a two-point conversion, which is good, and that will take the score to 40-0. So with 1:34 remaining in the first half, your new score is 40-0 in favor of Independence. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. That's a 40-yard punt return by Myers. The two-point conversion is good. 40-0, and Beckley-Stratton still out there playing hard, and it seemed like a couple of plays here and there they just could have got, but it seemed like this kind of snowballed on them a little bit.
Well, let's see right here. Maybe they can get them finally a good kick return without turning it over, and build up on that third down completion before the punt and kick punt return for a touchdown that Independence had.
So it'll be kickoff time again for Independence. And they've got the ball teed up right there between the 40s. And let's see if Wilson and or Davis can come up with a big return. Beckley-Stratton's had the ball 4 times. They don't have a first down yet. They've had 4 3-and-outs. And the ball is short. It's fumbled. It's picked up by Wilson. He crosses the 40. He's got some running room and a good tackle that gets him down at the 45-yard line. So that's where Beckley-Stratton will have this possession with 1:27 left in the half.
And that time was a good special teams tackle by Independence, because that one was going to go for a big gainer again.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Beckley-Stratton on their own 45-yard line. Beckley-Stratton, after tonight, will have one more game left, and they'll be home here next Thursday against Bluefield. Of course, next Thursday, our crew, we will have the grade school basketball championships. We'll be at Shady Middle next Thursday. So we will not have that Beckley-Stratton Bluefield game. That'll be the final game of the regular season for Beckley-Stratton. From their own 45-yard line is where Beckley-Stratton will have the ball. Here's a pass play, throwing the ball out to the far side, flat, and it's broken up. That's and at least, that's what, if you're Beckley-Stratton, you at least got to try that.
And right there, I think the Beckley-Stratton receiver has to come to the ball. The ball, if he's able to fight for it a little bit, that could have been a completed pass.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad thrown ball that time by Bentley Ellison.
Yeah, and that's what I would try to do to do again. Get some one-on-one matchups out there and try to get your guys to make plays in space.
So the clock will stop on the incompletion, 1:22 remaining until halftime. 2nd and 10 for Beckley-Stratton on their own 45-yard line. Ellison, the quarterback, up under center. They go with that stacked power I. Long count. And the throw, got to set up a screen, and the ball's overthrown. And the pressure, I think, forced Bentley Ellison to throw the ball a little sooner.
A little sooner than he wanted to. But I like the fact that they're trying to, do something different here offensively.
Well, yeah, I mean, because just, we said 2 or 3 times, running the ball is just not going to get it done, because Independence has got the lane stacked, everybody on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they should have, they're doing the right thing, trying to get, their players in space.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up for Beckley-Stratton.
But the only thing about this is you're killing the clock, and you got to punt it back.
Well, you don't worry about that at this point, unless there might be a timeout on the field, and Beckley-Stratton's going to take a timeout. While they take a timeout, we're going to tell you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm agent Scotty Brown in Shady Spring, and you can dial him up at 681-238-6130. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal operates an underground mine, a surface mine preparation plant, and they're always looking for employees. And you can apply for a job with Infinity Coal, as you can go online through the Facebook page at United Coal Company, or you can pick up an application at the Guard Shack located on Independence Road in Sophia. Coming up at halftime, Eric and I will recap the first half, figure out maybe some strategy for the second half. I don't know how much strategy you got when you're either up or down 40-0. We've got our entire crew here, Maddie Belcher producing and directing. We have the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, roaming around somewhere, and I think he's on camera now with the brains of the outfit, Faith Alexander. And out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 10 for Beckley-Stratton on their own 45-yard line.
And out of this timeout, let's see what they come up with.
But like you had mentioned, Eric, they had tried to run the ball, and we both stated there's just nowhere to go. At least on this possession, they've at least tried to attempt. Look, they figure out they had to do something a little different.
And had a chance for a completion early in this drive, and I would spread them out and try to get rid of the ball before they get to you.
So Bentley Ellison works from the shotgun on 3rd and 10 from his own 45, long count. And the ball is fumbled, and they don't even get a chance to run the plays. The ball fumbled back inside the 40 to the 39, bringing up 4th down.
And I guess you have to run your punt team out with 1-0.
Well,
it'll be under a minute to go.
You might go for it. We're coming up under a minute. There's 30 on the play clock. You could run the play clock down and then go ahead and just try to go for it.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they'll do. Yeah, I don't think right here, it's 40-0. I don't know if you want to punt, and they're not going to punt. Bentley Ellison got the instructions. They might run it all the way down and call a timeout. Looks like that's what they're going to do because there's 13 on the play clock, and you can see the quarterback, Bentley Ellison, he hasn't left the sideline yet.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do, call a timeout. And
call a timeout with 1 second left and then see what play they can draw up. So there's the timeout. There's 28 seconds left on the game clock for the first half. 40-0 the score. And while we got a minute, I'll tell you about the good folks at Cracker Barrel. Love me some Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel with locations in Beckley and Princeton. And love me a little bit of everything on their menu, from the mashed potatoes and gravy to the green beans to fried chicken, meatloaf. You can't go wrong with Cracker Barrel. So, Eric, we've got to think, about, like, if you were the coach at Beckley-Stratton or the coaches, what do you think what do you think you'd tell your kids at the locker room right now, down 40-0, 28 seconds left in the half?
Well, I would go to, two of my key players, and that would be Christian, Wilson and Cameron Davis, and, of course, Bentley Ellison, the quarterback. But you can see that they, and plus with the core of Madden Taylor, those guys can compete. And I would just tell them to compete, regardless of what the score is. And, Cameron Davis and Christian Wilson have been flying around a little bit. So you just got to get something positive out of the game, even when you're getting beat down, because both of those two guys that I mentioned early, they will play, in high school, and they will be pretty good football players.
So it looks like they're going to punt after all. No, it's a fake punt. Davis has got the edge. He might get there. He crosses midfield. He'll pick up the first down and more down the far sideline as he runs out of bounds as they fake a punt and a late hit. A flag comes in, and they'll tack that on to the end of the run. And what a nice play, well designed, and a great run that time by Davis for Beckley-Stratton.
And right on cue when I was talking about Davis, this kid, you can see one thing he needs to learn is to get that football in the outside arm, because he's been stripped twice in the game. And yeah, that was a tad bit late, but the Independence player was not giving up on the team.
Right, he was hit on the white, so obviously that will draw the yellow laundry, and they'll tack that on to the end of the run. And let's see if that'll be 15 or half the distance as they mark it off. It'll be down inside the 20. The referee's still marking it off. And they'll take the ball. That looks like half the distance, and the ball will go down to the 12-yard line. So Beckley-Stratton will have it at the Independence 12 with just 18 seconds left in the half and one timeout left. And you got to think you have to throw it here, Eric. You really do, because if you run, you have to burn that last time out, and if you don't make a touchdown.
Well, you have to come up with something here where I would put Wilson and Davis probably on the same side, and just try to maybe just come up and throw it to them. You got to get a good snap here. This stack guy right here is not going to get it.
So they're going to do it up under center, and it looks like they've had more success when they have ran from the gun. Looks like they have a new quarterback in there as well. And they do, and they fumbled the snap. And you were right on cue. It's not going to get it. Independence says they have. It looks like they put a new quarterback into the ball game. And let me see if we got him here on the roster.
Yeah,
they did.
I think it was number 7.
Yeah, Acord. Wyatt Acord was in there, and Beckley-Stratton turns it over. I do believe, well, at least Independence says they had the
ball.
ball.
Yeah, it was clearly a fumble.
Yeah.
And Independence has the ball.
So after Beckley-Stratton had its best offensive play, the fake punt, they turn it over again, and with 14 seconds left in the half, and Independence backed up in their own territory. But the way they strike, Eric, I don't know if they'll just take a knee. They have the ball in their own. Let's say they'll put them down at the 10-yard line. Now get the ball at the 11-yard line. And Independence has 2 timeouts left. Myers takes the snap.
I'll start.
Well, I don't see any flags, but that play did not look right. Maybe they weren't ready. I don't think they penalized them, but I thought for a minute you were right, Eric, that it was a false start, but I don't see any penalty flags. I don't think nobody was set, including the officials.
Maybe he didn't blow the whistle yet to start the play.
So from the 11, with 14 seconds left in the half, Myers in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to pump it, going to throw the ball deep down the center of the field, and it's caught, crossing midfield, down the center of the field, and pulled down inside the 20 with 2 seconds. The clock should stop momentarily for a first down.
And good sportsmanship here, right? But wasn't that Davis? Yeah. Wilson.
Well, Beckley-Stratton Independence can call a timeout because the clock will stop on the first down and take a shot at the end zone.
But this is a great play. Great pitch and catch. But I love that the kid from Beckley-Stratton is not giving. Look at him coming to the screen. He is not giving up on the play, and he makes, for now, a touchdown-saving tackle.
At the 19-yard line, so with 1 second left, they're going to throw the ball into the end zone, and the clock stopped as it should because the first down, and then Independence able to get a timeout in, so they'll get one more crack at it from the Beckley-Stratton 19. But you just don't see that every day in middle school when you can – and really, I don't understand why they didn't get a snap off. Yeah, I know the referee, if they called a timeout, and maybe they didn't, but that's going to be the end of the half. But maybe Independence didn't call a timeout because had they called a timeout,
they just walked up to the line of scrimmage and just let it roll. Yeah.
But it's a 40-0 lead, and we'll take our second quarter break and come back and get you ready for the Massey Power Sports halftime show coming up here on Video Productions.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Let the sunshine in. Get started today with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. What better way to do that than our energy-efficient windows and doors for every budget and style? We offer superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price. We offer great financing options too. So why wait? Transfer your home today with Window World of Beckley and let the sun shine in.
We won't raise your rates just because of an accident. Sure, everyone thinks they're a good driver. But when an accident happens, with Allstate, you don't have to worry, even if it's your fault. It's called accident forgiveness, and it starts the day you sign up. You're in good hands with Allstate.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. We have our entire crew. Maddie Belcher here producing and directing, along with the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, the brains of the outfit, Faith Alexander on camera. And on a chilly night in Beckley right now, Independence is, at least for now, Eric, have warmed up their sideline. And they put a big 40 spot up in the first half, and they lead 40-0. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Edward Jones Financial Advisors. Heather Cantley is my financial advisor. She helped me prepare for retirement. She can help you prepare for retirement as well as you can open up a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. You can call Heather at 681-254-0097. But Eric, I tell you what, we saw a little bit of everything, and Beckley-Stratton, had some plays here or there, but the first half, Independence really is able to make all the big plays, and they lead 40-0.
And that's what you got to say about this Independence team. For one, they're well coached, but two, they have football players. They have a great quarterback. They have great wideouts. They have great running backs. Their line really blocks, and the defense just really gets after it. So I mean, they're a tough out. I don't see anyone in Southern West Virginia. I think they should go on a tour and say they already played Bluefield. I don't know if they play Princeton. They beat Eastern Greenbrier. I mean, call somebody up and see if they want to come play 'em.
Well, the thing about it is, Beckley-Stratton, and, you think down 40-0, but yet they made a few plays they just couldn't finish. And their biggest play was that fake punt right toward the end of the half, which Davis, and I thought he was going to take it all the way for a touchdown. He got hit late out of bounds. They're in position to score, then they turned the ball over.
Yeah, very next play.
Yeah.
Very next play.
Yeah.
And think about this, and I think Davis might have ran a touchdown the time he got stripped on the kickoff.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And, they had a nice kickoff return. And then, look, he was going for a touchdown, and then out of nowhere, Likens with a great play strips him and goes 60 yards the other way for a touchdown.
Hey.
I mean, Independence, they seem like that they hit grand slam home runs when nobody's on base.
Yeah, they're like the New York Yankees with Stanton. My man Stanton, the way he hits those home runs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And, when he hits them, it's nice to have guys on base. But just like Independence, like when they hit a home run, it's like it might be a solo home run, but it feels like a grand slam, doesn't it?
I mean, just think about this. Tristan Likens in one quarter had the hat trick. He did in one quarter what some middle school kids don't do all year. He had a fumble recovery for a 60-some yard touchdown.
60-yard touchdown.
In the first play of the game, he ran a
56-yard
touchdown, and then he ran a
10-yard touchdown.
Yes, just a hat trick right off the bat, and he's been involved in kicking and saving 2 touchdowns on kickoff returns and creating the fumble on the other kickoff return.
Yeah. So at the break, 40-0 is the lead. We'll take our Massey Power Sports halftime first commercial break, and we'll come back. And like I said, it's a chilly night here in Beckley, but I think between you and I, Eric, with our hot air, I think we'll warm things up here in the press box. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
When you're about to go on the most important journey, it matters who you choose to start it with. From your very first prenatal appointment, Access Health's dedicated team is here to support you with the latest technology and personalized care. Preparing for your little one's arrival is a special time. And when the big day arrives, you can be confident knowing you have the same team to guide and support you. Access Health, your partner in health every step of the way.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Don't drop the ball. Come see your hometown legends at the all-new Greenbrier Ford in Beckley. We won't be beat.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. At the break of this middle school game, 40-0 is the score in favor of Independence leading Beckley-Stratton. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Michael Frobel for Judge. Michael is a candidate for the circuit judge in the 2nd Division. Michael is proud to support student athletes of Raleigh County. Well, it's a very cool night here in Beckley as the band is performing out there on the field of Beckley-Stratton. We'll take one more break and get you ready for the second half here on the Massey Power Sports Halftime Show. 40-0 is the lead for Independence here on Video Productions.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General Store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General Store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Compliance helped me lose 50 pounds by freeing up tasks like payroll, HR, and bookkeeping. I'm now free to do what I want.
With Compliance, you can do what you want to do. Compliance, we've got your back office.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
Seconds on the clock. He hands it off. Finds a hole in the middle. Clear. Nothing but incredible. A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza. Better with Pepsi.
Back here at Van Meter Stadium in Beckley with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. We have Maddie Belcher producing, the heavy hitter Nick Eskins directing, and the brains of the outfit, Faith Alexander, on camera. 40-0 is the lead, Eric, for Independence. And on a chilly night in Beckley, at least since the Suns went down, we're just about ready to start the second half. But, you know, Independence, we talked about it back in the pregame, Eric. They can score so many ways, and they did. They run a punt back. They got a fumble on a kickoff and ran it back. They've scored through the air. They scored on the ground. They've scored just about every which way.
Yeah, and then just multiple ways to score, multiple weapons. Yeah, just a real tough team to defend.
So they lead 40-0, does Independence, and we're ready to start the second half, and Independence will get the ball to start the second half. And we do know that the middle school championship will take place at Coal City on Independence's home field in 2 weeks. And I think now the referee is, let's see if he's walking over here looking up here, I thought maybe he might talk about that they may have decided if they're going to run the clock a little quicker now. Maybe not. I know the rule is when you get to a 42-point lead in the third quarter, then the clock runs. So that's not the case just yet.
Looks like
But what I was saying, Eric, that Independence will play 2 weeks from tonight on Halloween at Coal City. They'll play the middle school championship, and their opponent is already determined. They'll play Shady, a team that they already beat 52-6 earlier in the year. So Beckley-Stratton's got it teed up, and it'll be Davis to kick it off. And let's see who Independence will have back here. It looks like maybe Myers. Let's see. Frazier is 1 on the far side, and Myers here on the near side. So Myers is number 1, Frazier's number 2.
I'd say this would probably be an onside kick.
And now Beckley-Stratton finally got their 11th man out on the field. And here comes the kick, and you are right, Eric. It is an onside kick, and it's recovered by Independence across the 40. Looks like they'll start about their own 42-yard line.
You had to give it a try.
So there's where Independence will start, 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. And, Eric, you had mentioned this back in our pregame. The only team for the game that has kept Independence under 40 has been Eastern Greenbrier, and that was a few weeks ago. Eastern Greenbrier lost to Independence 36-12. But against everybody else, it's been 40 or more. They've scored 76 on Park, 52 on Shady, 60 on Trap Hill, 46 on Oak Hill, and 46 on Midland Trail. And 40 in the first half tonight here against Beckley-Stratton. Myers to throw. With time, throws the ball short, and it's incomplete.
And that was the first time that that Beckley-Stratton really got some heat,
some pressure,
pressure on the quarterback.
So the incompletion will be 2nd and 10 for Independence. And they put the ball. I thought that drive started on the 42, but now they put the ball back to the 40-yard line. So I guess that's where they're going to say the drive technically started, on the 40, 2nd and 10 there. Myers takes the snap, pulls it down. There's some pressure, but he's going to keep it and run. He's got a first down. He crosses midfield. He's got 1 man to beat. He's down the near sideline. He put a move. He's down to the 10, to the 5. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. That was a nifty move. He had 1 man to beat, and he was able to scamper down the near sideline, a 60-yard touchdown run for Myers, and that takes the lead to 46-0.
Yeah, and I just saw the white cap, the ref just said wind the clock. I think that puts it in overdrive now where the clock just runs straight through.
Well, it's not running at the moment as they get ready to go for 2. And he's saying to run the clock, and now we got it rolling as a 60-yard touchdown run from Paxton Myers on the 2nd play of the half. So, Eric, they scored on the very first play of the first half and the 2nd play of the second half.
Yeah, after incompletion from Paxton Myers, he said, forget about trying to hit a receiver. I'm just going to take it to the house 60 yards out.
And they fumble the 2-point conversion, so that is not good. So it's 46-0 is the score. That was a 2-play, 60-yard drive, a 60-yard touchdown run from Paxton Myers. They don't get the 2-point conversion. Your scoring recap is brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. And right about now, like to have an ice-cold blue can of Pepsi. And, when it comes to Pepsi or even the Diet Pepsi's pretty good. I even like the Pepsi Zero, but right now I'd like to have me a blue can.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the blue can. That Pepsi is my favorite drink, especially after a game like this. You need one.
So 46-0. So we, when you're looking on your screen and you're saying the clock is running, that's correct. We'll have a running clock here in the second half. And Eric, when we did the Park game in Independence beat Park 76-12, they played 2 4-minute quarters and ran it straight through, and Independence still scored 76 points. So clock will continue to run, and returning kickoffs though has been one of the bright spots really for Beckley-Stratton, but they just haven't been able to finish the return.
So since Independence is so good, we have to find something that's kind of wrong with them. And
They
as
don't-
much as they've
yeah.
kicked off,
Right.
do you think they would learn to cover the kick just a tad better?
Here comes the kickoff. It's a line drive.
Another running lane.
Yep, there's Davis. He's got some running room. He makes a man miss. He crosses midfield. He's down the near sideline, and they got the angle on him. They run him out of bounds. But, once again, you're right. That they didn't stay in their lanes, and a nice job by Davis and able to break a tackle and make a man miss and get down inside the 35.
Well, he must learn to switch that ball to his outside hand, as we see here on the instant replay. He almost got stripped again at the end of this run.
And
once he gets it out,
he got to get on his outside arm.
See, look.
Yeah.
It was almost another strip.
So they'll put the ball down at the Independence 32-yard line after the kickoff return by Davis. And let's see if Beckley-Stratton can put it in the end zone. Looks like they've got a different quarterback. It's Wyatt Akerd. And they're going to hand the ball off inside, and Davis, he's not going to go anywhere. Just they've got everybody stacked up there and just nowhere to run.
Davis is a tough kid, Cameron Davis. He's been taking some shots, giving out some shots too.
So that'll be a loss back to the 33 as Wyatt Akerd is the quarterback for Beckley-Stratton. And you can hardly see him behind all the big linemen.
Yeah, so I wonder if the switch, I hope the young man Bentley Ellison,
hope he's okay.
Hope he's okay.
But maybe I don't know, maybe they just decide maybe to get Akerd some playing time. They're going to try to run the ball up the middle, and there's nowhere to go there. That's going to go for nothing. As Independence throws him back, but it's no gain. It'll be third down from the 33. But, you know, Eric, that, like I said, that had really zero success in the first half, and not going to have a different result here in the second half.
Yeah, I don't, you know, your playbook is what it is, and then especially with the backup quarterback in now, I don't foresee you going to the shotgun or anything. So this is probably what you got the rest of the game.
Yeah, like I said, we got a running clock with the lead that it is, with Independence up 46-0. Beckley-Stratton will have one more regular season game next week to conclude their season, their final chance to get a win on this field next Thursday when they take on Bluefield. And they're going to run the ball. Here's Wilson. He's got a running lane. He's got a first down. And he breaks a tackle, and he's going to get in the end zone for a Beckley-Stratton touchdown.
Yeah, and I was just looking.
That's a nice run.
Nice run.
33 yards out. And Wilson gets into the end zone to trim the lead to 46-6.
Well, you know what? I'm glad to see him still out here trying to perform and playing hard. You know, it's easy to lay down. I wouldn't say they're just getting beat by a better team. I wouldn't say that the Beckley-Stratton team has laid down at all.
Right. I agree. They've played hard. That was a 33-yard touchdown run. That was a three-play, 32-yard drive that was set up by a nice kickoff return by Davis, and then Wilson able to finish it here off the left side into the end zone. They'll now go for two. Up under center. Akerd, and he's going to hand the ball off, and that won't get there. So Beckley-Stratton gets on the board. Your new score is Independence 46 and Beckley-Stratton 6. That was a three-play, 32-yard drive and a 33-yard touchdown run by Wilson. The two-point conversion fails as we have a running clock here in the second half coming up on 2 minutes. It's 46-6. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. And we've all talked about how we all would like to have a nice cold Pepsi. And even though in cold weather we're inside, it's not as cold here as it is outside, and the Pepsi would taste just as good.
Just as fine, right?
All right. We appreciate our entire staff being here. And, you know, there's a reason why I call Faith Alexander the brains of the outfit other than the fact she is, because she's inside and the heavy hitter Nick Eskins is outside running the camera in the cold. So, you know, she's got to be smart to be inside and put him outside.
Hey, she knows when to switch it up. That's right.
Maddie Belcher here producing and directing. We appreciate her. Maddie's going to join me next week in performing color at the grade school championships at Shady next week. I know, Eric, you can't make it, and so we're going to call to the bullpen. That'll be Maddie.
Maddie will come in and do a great job. We had a chance to do a few games with her on the high school level.
Of course, you know, it's neat that you and I, Eric, had a chance here's this Beckley-Stratton kickoff, and I'll get into this point in a minute, as it'll be taken by Myers. Crosses the 30, crosses the 40, zigging and zagging.
It's trouble.
Yep, and this is off to the races. And more than trouble, this is going to be a 69-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Myers. It was more than trouble. A 69-yard kickoff return by Myers, and that will take the lead to 52-6 in favor of Independence. But what I was getting ready to say, Eric, you know, I think it's kind of neat that you and I had the opportunity to cover Maddie Belcher's high school career when she was playing girls basketball for Beckley Woodrow Wilson, and now she's a part of our crew, and she did games with us last year, and we'll continue to do it this year and go and work with her next week.
That's
and I
right.
think that's pretty neat. And that's what video productions also is all about, by employing people from here in Raleigh County. Faith Alexander and, Nick Eskins, both Raleigh County. You and I both went to school here in Raleigh County, even though we're a bit older, and we went
just a tad, just
a bit back in the day. Still, never the fact that we're homegrown, and that's what's great about covering Raleigh County for video productions.
Heck, Maris, we're so old. These two middle schools didn't even exist back when we
well,
went to
no middle
school.
school existed back then. It was junior high back then.
But still, that's what I'm saying.
So Independence lines up and goes for test at the end of the third quarter. They'll go for two anyway, and the 2-point try is good. So we're going to take a 1-minute break and get you ready for the fourth quarter, as the new score is now 54-6 in favor of Independence. Be right back here on Video Productions.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
The most mouth-watering showdown on television. The Hangry Games Ultimate Snack Off. Right here at your local Little General store.
Here's Wilson on the kickoff. He makes the first man miss. He's got some running room on the near side. He's crossed the 40. This might go. Cross midfield, one man to beat. Wilson down the sideline. It's going to be a Beckley-Stratton touchdown. So how about that? You don't see that too much, Eric, that back-to-back kickoffs go for a touchdown. And I'll have to get the replay on that to see exactly how far that was. As he picked it up inside the 30. Let's see where he picked it up at.
At the 23.
23.
24.
24. So that is a 76-yard touchdown return, a kickoff return. 76 yards for Wilson to make the score 54-12. How about that?
He's been knocking on the door of scoring on a kickoff return, and that'll give you a little life.
Well, of all the years of doing it, I don't think I've seen hardly at any time on any level where one team runs a kickoff back and then kicks off and the other team runs a kickoff back.
Nope, not back-to-back.
Nope. So Beckley-Stratton will line up and go for two. And like I said, we have a running clock, 54-12, the lead for Independence. And they'll able to walk it in for the 2-point conversion, and that is Davis to make it 54-14. So your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. Wilson, a 76-yard kickoff return. Davis adds the 2-point conversion, 54-14. And like I said, the scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi, and going to have me a nice cold Pepsi when I get home.
Yeah, I think I'll pick up one on the way home.
So, of course, Eric, I know we were watching or keeping up to date, not really watching, but keeping up to date of the American League Championship Series. The Yankees were up 4-3 late in the game. Are they still ahead?
Yeah, top of the ninth, runners on second and third, and the Yankees knocking on the door of scoring again. I think they can plate these two runs, it's pretty much over for the Guardians.
The score has 52-14 on your screen, but it's actually 54-14. So we got that corrected. And it'll be kickoff time. Now, what's the chances of Independence running this kickoff back?
Hey, real good chance. The way these kick coverages have been, if you kick it deep, it might go back.
But, maybe they won't kick it deep this time. Maybe they'll try the onside kick. It looks like the way they've got the ball teed up there, Eric, I don't know, Will, it's in between the hashes there. I thought maybe they will squib it. And that's what they're going to do. Onside kick. It went 10 yards.
And they got it.
And they got it. And Davis had kicked it off. He was able to recover it across midfield, and Beckley-Stratton will have the ball. So the clock continues to move. A running clock here in the fourth quarter. And it'll be a first down for Beckley-Stratton. They have the ball at the 49-yard line. of Independence. Eric, tomorrow night, you and I and the rest of our crew will be at Coal City. We'll have the Independence Patriots in Mingo Central. And, you know, I've been around a whole lot longer as you have in the school of Mingo Central, and it will be the first time I've ever had the opportunity to call any sporting event in Mingo Central.
Yeah, and me as well. And I'm anxious to see that, you know, Independence is pretty much on a revenge tour. They lost to Mingo Central last year, so they'll be. This is Madden Taylor right here. Madden Taylor.
Taylor into the end zone for a touchdown from 49 yards out. So how about that? Even though we didn't have a kick return, we had 3 big plays out of the last 4 plays outside of the onside kick, and Beckley-Stratton able to score to make it 54-20.
Yeah, it looks like Beckley-Stratton is dipping into their bench, and those little JV guys can't handle, you know, the bigger guys on Beckley-Stratton's varsity.
So Madden Taylor able to scamper 49 yards, a one-play 49-yard drive to make it 54-20, and they will go for 2. Let's see what they come up with. Acord, the quarterback. Got 10 seconds on the play clock. And they will run the ball. And Davis won't get there. So the 2-point conversion fails. But your new score is Independence 54, Beckley-Stratton 20, a one-play 49-yard drive, a 49-yard touchdown run by Madden Taylor. The 2-point conversion fails. Coming up on the 3-minute mark with a running fourth quarter clock, 54-20 the score. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. Well, we got a busy week next week. Like I said, we'll have next Thursday, we'll have grade school basketball championships. That'll take place at Shady Middle. Maddie Belcher will join me, and we'll have the third-place game in the championship game. Third-place game starts at 5 o'clock. You know, Eric, you and I did that last year, and it was played at Woodrow's Gym. What a lot of fun. What a big crowd we had.
Maddie, get ready for some fun. It was a lot of fun. Both games were competitive, and once you get down to the Final Four in that, myself, I know one of my co-workers, Lane Akert, he coaches the Crescent team, came in as a 3 seed, and he's going to try to get into that championship game because he said he wants his kids to experience being on video productions.
Well, you know, they've had a great run, has Crescent. No one seems to know this. They've won 5 or 6. No one seems to remember, and they wasn't sure whether they played during the COVID year. And I've asked so many people, but no one can give me an exact thing of how many Raleigh County grade school championships that Crescent's won in a row. But they've at least won 5 in a row.
Yeah, they've been on a run.
So with this kickoff, let's see what we got. Independence will have the ball. And let's see where they'll have it at. Looks maybe right around midfield. And that's where they'll put the ball down at, right at the 50-yard line. So we'll have that next Thursday. And then Friday we'll have a couple of games. We'll have Princeton against Independence at Coal City. You and I will be there. Spring Valley will be here at Van Meter Stadium against Beckley. Bill O'Brien will have that. And here's a running play for Independence. Gets a couple of yards as the clock continues to turn. We'll have a quick wrap-up show in the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show on such a I know I can say chilly night. Should I say cold night? Because it's actually cold out here.
For October, this is a cold October night.
Well, for me, it's cold. And I think everybody up here would agree with me. So we got the window open. Here's a reverse to the far side. That's a first down inside the 40.
Well executed reverse right there. The Lee Young men for Independence coming in executing the nice reverse.
Down inside the 40 to the 39. And we probably only got a couple more plays left. And like I said, we'll have a quick wrap-up. But this was all Independence really from the very beginning, and everything that we said is there's a timeout. But, Eric, everything that we said on top for Beckley-Stratton to avoid this outcome they had to do, they weren't able to do.
They were not, and it was, you know, I hate to use the word doomed, but it was doomed after they won the toss and they were able to get a good return, and then got a 2-yard gain, then a 5-yard penalty, then a 15-yard sack, and then after that, Independence scores on the first play from scrimmage. And
then even after that, another good return, and then the ball gets stripped
for a touchdown.
And then touchdown, and then from that point on.
So right off the bat, they were down 16-0, and Independence had only ran one play from scrimmage.
Right, one offensive play and the two-point conversions. Right. So, yeah, that's efficient. And, of course, John Lilly at Independence at the high school level, he's got a lot to look forward to. And the same way with Street Surratt at Beckley, because that's the thing, as you mentioned, there's 3 or 4 individuals at Beckley-Stratton good, and Park's got some good players. And, it's all about when they get to the high school level. There's a little pass play. And the ball's fumbled, and Beckley-Stratton's on it.
This will probably be probably the last play of the contest coming up.
46 seconds, and they stop the clock, I guess, for the change of possession.
Yeah, once he places down, they'll.
Once you put the ball down ready for play, you should wind the clock. Let's see if they do that. Yep, there we go. Wind the clock. And you're right, Eric, this is probably the last play, or at least maybe the next to last play. Yeah, clock stopped now.
I guess once it got under a certain amount of points.
I don't know. They'll run the ball here to Wilson to the near side. Cuts across the 40. He's got running rooms down the sideline. This might go to the 30, and it will go to the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown for Beckley-Stratton. That'll make it 54-26 with the 2-point conversion coming. And that definitely will be the last play because the clock is running, so they'll have a 2-point conversion as Wilson able to get the long touchdown run.
Yeah, once Wilson gets outside of contain, he's just tough to catch.
So this 2-point conversion will be the final play. Let's see if they'll even, I guess they'll do the 2-point conversion, maybe not. I guess not. The game is over. So your final score, or will they run the 2-point conversion? Independence is bringing their team out on the field, and I guess technically they need to run the 2-point conversion. Independence will win it. Independence will get to 7-0. Beckley-Stratton will go to 0-6 as they do run the 2-point play. And the 2-point conversion, is he in? He looks like he is, and he is. And the final score will be 54-28. We'll take a quick 1-minute break, come back, have the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show right after this here on Video Productions.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert Z. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
When you're about to go on the most important journey, it matters who you choose to start it with. From your very first prenatal appointment, Access Health's dedicated team is here to support you with the latest technology and personalized care. Preparing for your little one's arrival is a special time. And when the big day arrives, you can be confident knowing you have the same team to guide and support you. Access Health, your partner in health every step of the way.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Final score here at Van Meter Stadium in Beckley here at this middle school game is Independence. They remain undefeated as they defeat Beckley-Stratton 54-28. Independence goes 7-0. Beckley-Stratton is 0-6. And Eric, before we say our goodbyes, we'll get your take on this game.
I like the way the Independence Middle School team plays. There'll be a tough out for a lot of teams across the state, but I also like the fight in Beckley-Stratton. Even before they were able to score, they still kept playing and trying to stick in the game.
Yeah, when they had all their main players in there, both teams, and they were down 40-0 at halftime, they kept playing hard and kept fighting through it. And like I said, just Independence just had just really the superior team, and it showed there on the scoreboard. Well, once again, we'll wrap things up here from Van Meter Stadium. The final score is a 54-28. Independence defeats Beckley-Stratton in this middle school football game for our entire staff. For Maddie Belcher, who produced and direct, along with the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins. For the brains of the outfit, our camera person tonight, Faith Alexander. For my partner, Eric Thomas, I'm Maris Lowry, repeating once again the final score. Independence Middle beats Beckley-Stratton 54-28. Good night, everybody.